What up, Scyushi Squad? We back in with some more on Trove, and this is going to hopefully be a definitive tutorial talking to you guys about alt farming. Not alt with a U, but alt with an A, because we're talking about using an alternative account to farm this. So you kind of gotta have a bit of a knowledge for how delves works in a nutshell, more specifically challenge delves. So I'll kind of explain that before we get started today, because you gotta understand how it works. But for the most part, I want to let you guys know that I do have a beginner's guide for the delves. I'm just having this one come out first. That said, there was actually some maintenance reported for Trove right now, so I hope that they're not fixing this and then this video goes to oblivion. So if you guys are seeing this, it means that the effect still works. So essentially, there's going to end up being challenge delves, which is the only way that you can continue your progress to get to the deepest depth possible within the delves, right? There's going to end up being two portals that you can craft in the hub. So there's going to be an easy portal, and then what the game calls a challenge mode portal, I just call a normal portal, just so that it makes sense. And what the difference of each of those portals is going to be is the easy portal, no matter what, is always going to throw you to depth 110. That's always going to be where it defaults you to. Even if you end up getting to depth 130, you throw down an easy portal, you're back to 110. However, the normal challenge portal is going to continue you from the deepest depth that you ended up getting to. So if you got to floor 130, you throw down a normal portal, you'll be at 130 again, okay? And the challenge portals, or the challenge delves in general, they're always going to generate the exact same for that given week for everybody. So it's not completely random, but they are going to end up changing and cycling over for every on the weekly reset, right? And essentially what you need is to just be able to get those portals, somebody who's strong enough to actually do the objective, and then you need an alt account. So you can see this is actually my free-to-play account right here. Say hi, free-to-play character. I made him do that, okay? No one else is controlling him, it's just me. But the reason that you have to have an alt account is because the trick that we're going to be doing is we're going to be repeating the same floor over and over and over again. So the way that the delves in general work is at depth 115 is going to always be U10 difficulty. So any floor from before that is going to generate as U9 difficulty. 115, U10, okay? That is one of the requirements in order to end up getting Crystal 4, because essentially what this whole method is used for is so that you can get Crystal 4 a lot faster than the normal way that you would be grinding delves. Because normally you will have to travel into the delves, and every third floor is going to give you a Shadow Vault chest that spawns, and that is the only way that you can get Crystal 4 is by opening one of those chests. So you would have to do 1, 2 dead floors that give you no Shadow Vault, and then the third floor gives you the Shadow Vault. Once you end up getting deep enough, however, you would have to go back to previous floors by using an easy challenge portal so that you could repeat the process, right? What this is doing, the alt farm, is going to negate all of that by essentially just having you repeatedly go to floor 115 over and over again, so that you have U10 and the Shadow Vault constantly spawning. And the way that you do that is quite literally, you get your alt to depth 115 and then you leave. The reason for that is because as soon as you beat the boss, you are actually counting that floor as complete, and then you would progress to the next. So my main account right here, I have completed floor 115 because I've killed the boss. So if I, on this character, threw down a challenge mode portal that's just a normal one, I would actually be taken to depth 116. So it ruins the whole process. The point is that my alt actually will place down a challenge mode portal. You can see it's at 115. He goes in with everybody else that's going into the farm. You make your alternate account leave. So go back to the club world, go back to the hub, whatever. And then once you've left, you don't get the boss credit. So you're still going to end up being at depth 115. So you would just end up leaving, completing the delve on your main account with whoever else is there. And then you literally just enter it again with the same alt account over and over and over again. Now, one thing that I do think that they should patch, just because it's very glitchy, is the way that delves works. This is just kind of a little trivia for you guys, is that you can actually have more than 8 people queue for a private or challenge delve. Even though it's only going to pull 8 players into the delve, the other people will technically still be waiting in the queue, even though they didn't actually get in. So a lot of times what will end up happening is with my alt account, I'll come out of the delves, and then the portal that I placed down is still sitting there, and I can actually just, because people are still queued within it, and then I can just laser it away and it's back in my inventory. So essentially it's just duplicating the portal. It's very weird because normally when you go into the delves, it will actually consume the portal. It's gone, and thus you have to craft another one, which, I mean, these are pretty resource intensive just because of the crystals that are required and stuff like that. So if they patch that, I won't be surprised. As far as just patching this method in general, I hope that they don't, because essentially this is making it so that grinding for crystal is going 3 times faster. Or is it like 2 times faster, or 2 times 5 times faster, or something like, I don't know the exact math equation behind it. But the point is that it's going to end up being that much faster time-wise than it would be doing it the normal way. And rather than them remove something like that, I would personally like it if they would just find a better solution. You know, make it so that shadow vaults just spawn on every floor instead of every 3rd floor. Because obviously the reason that they have the shadow vault spawn every 3rd floor is to kind of coincide with how shadow towers existed, and obviously so that players have a little bit of effort required in order to end up getting deeper and getting Titan and Lunar Souls and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily difficult, it just takes time. And that's the part that I don't like about it, because it's less efficient, and efficiency is all I'm about in video games. I have like such a low attention span and such a low like patience for like anything that wastes my time, you know? I mean, technically, yeah, games are a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. You could say all that stupid stuff and, oh, why are you still playing Trove? Go away, haters. That's what I say. I still love this game, and going through the delves is a lot of fun, but so long as you're doing this, it's way more fun because it's way more chances of getting Crystal 4. And let me tell you, even with this method, it's still hella difficult to end up getting Crystal 4. Like, I've gotten quite a few Crystal 4s, but I haven't gotten enough for a full set on my Tomb Raiser yet. And another quick tip I want to mention too is if you get to the Shadow Vault and let's say you already have a Crystal 4 staff, for example, like I have one on my Tomb Raiser, right? I would actually swap over to another class like the Gunslinger, then I would open the Shadow Vault, because then it means that if I end up getting another weapon, at least it's going to be a gun set instead of just another staff on my Tomb Raiser that I would literally put on another character, because I can just swap my staff over right now anyways, right? So I just wanted to give you that little quick tip. But generally speaking, that's how the method works, guys. There's not really much else to say about it other than my own just personal feedback about it. I again would like to see them come up with a solution rather than just getting rid of something like this. And again, I think it would actually work out very, very much in the favor of the delves if the Shadow Vaults would just spawn every single floor, because when, like, even with this method, I've grinded for like maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours and I haven't gotten another Crystal 4. And then I ended up getting like a bunch of them really early on. It's weird. I mean, then again, like when I was grinding it, I was actually grinding it on loot day. So that might explain why we ended up getting so many more Crystal 4s than now. Like on Delve Day. Actually, it's not even Delve Day anymore because the day rolled over as the time I'm recording this. RIP. But I was grinding all day by doing this method, and I didn't get a single Crystal 4. I mean, I barely even got Crystal 3s, man. Like, it's brutal. It's sincerely brutal. It still takes a lot of effort to end up getting yourselves a Crystal 4. But the whole thing is that if you end up doing this, it's still much easier. It still takes a lot less time. And again, Crystal 4 is still very, very easy. Despite the fact that I'm saying it's difficult to get, it's still a lot easier than Crystal 3 was originally, so long as you can end up doing this. Heck, even if you were doing it the normal way, where you do 2 floors and then you do the vault, that would still end up being more effective than the OG way of getting Crystal 3, because Crystal 2 and Crystal 3 in the Delve update have essentially actually had a buff, so they're a lot more common. And Crystal 4, though still extremely difficult to get, is still pretty consistent. You seem to get it maybe every 150 to 200 challenge delves, unless you're really unlucky and it goes a lot higher, or if you're really lucky you get them a lot earlier. But the whole thing with Crystal 4 is that it doesn't seem like you need any magic find to get it as a drop, and I'm not even sure if magic find affects the amount of Crystal 4s that you even get. It's pretty much just the amount of time that you dedicate to actually farming for it, you know? Anyways, that's my 2 cents towards it, gamers. Let me know what you guys all think. I'm hoping, again, there's apparently maintenance coming today on PC, so I'm hoping that they're not patching this, because otherwise I will be pissed. I'm gonna get in some alt farming anyways, but if the method is still available, obviously you guys will see this video today. Have a great day. Smash like, sub for more, buy some of the merch you want to support the channel. Sign on. Stay up, gamers.